So before the match, I made a deal with myself and I made a deal with Daniil Medvedev. I said, Dear Mr. Medvedev, I give you one set and one break of Felipe, and then I go to sleep. I don't care. I will not let you get under my skin. I will not let you give me false hope. I will not let you annoy me today because I decided to cheer for him, and not because I think that he's like an easier opponent, easier matchup for Novak. On contrary, actually, I think the way he played today is really, really difficult, and it is perhaps even more difficult to face him than Carlos Alcaraz because with Alcaraz you don't get the aces, you don't get the serve. I mean, he certainly has aces, has serve winners, but when Medvedev plays like this, you cannot return his serve. You get broken once, you lose the set. He returns absolutely everything from the baseline. This is peak hardcore 2021 Daniil Medvedev, full octopus style. You cannot hit a winner against him, and you cannot return his serve. It's absolutely unplayable. So, I'm not like super happy that Novak has to play him on Sunday, but I decided to cheer for him because of the ATP rankings. I want Novak to reach 400 weeks at number one, and I kind of like Daniil Medvedev more. Certainly, I like him more than Carlos Alcaraz. Daniil is honestly probably my second favorite player in the top 10. Um, so I decided to, give him one and a half set, give him a chance, 6-3, 4-2, and I go to sleep. And I was late. I was late. Yeah, I started watching like in the third game, second service game of Medvedev, and I looked up the stats, and it said this dude had five double faults in like two games. Five double faults. How the? And I thought it's done. Like, okay, he's going to lose the first set 6-3. Like, he's going to get broken at 4-3 or something, if not earlier. And he somehow survived. So of course it's 4-3, and I was like, okay, this is done. And then he kind of started playing better. He stopped serving double faults. Won his serve games easily. It was 5-4. I was like, okay, let me get annoyed here. He's just going to do some stupid shit, like get annoyed with the crowd, do this like gesture that he did in the 2019 ATP Finals versus Nadal. Remember that match versus Nadal when he was up like 5-1 in the final set, ATP Finals, and he started doing this for some God knows what reason. He blew like five match points. He lost the match. So I was perfectly ready for Medvedev to do something ridiculously annoying in that match, and he didn't. He actually, made it to the tiebreak. And he started off really well in the tiebreak. He was up 3-2 with a minute break, and then he double folded. And then I was absolutely ready for him to do some stupid shit. And he didn't. He won the set 7-6. I was actually really surprised. He played really well. And in the second set, he played like an absolute beast. And when people talk shit about, Novak has easy Grand Slams, and look, I'm the first guy to tell you, and I actually made a prediction of that. His draw is going to fall apart. He's going to play a bunch of randoms, and he's going to make the final easily. And yes, guess what happened? He played a bunch of randoms, and he made the final easily. He played Ben Shelton, world number 47 in the semifinals. Ben Shelton. I mean, the guy, when he's not really hot and he's hot for 30 minutes in a match, he cannot hit more than three shots in a point. So, yeah, he got an easy draw. But you have Daniil Medvedev, who's an unprecedented player. He's 6'6". His service, of course, great, but his movement, his defense is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this guy plays like a 5'11" Spanish guy who's, just going to return everything, who's going to be an absolute wall, not going to make any unforced errors. But his 6'6" with a devastating serve. Like, I understand he doesn't have a brutal forehand like everybody does in the top 10, and therefore maybe some of you don't rate him that highly. And he has these brain fart moments, and he's not really good on grass, he's not really good on clay. But when it comes to hardcore play, I mean, when Daniil Medvedev peaks, like nobody really wants to mess with him. Like, I mean, honestly, in the past 20 years, Daniil Medvedev probably easily top five player hardcore when it's on form, maybe even top three. I mean, who, like, honestly, who can beat him? Like, you saw the second set, Alcaraz wasn't even playing bad. This guy was like, just returning it. You cannot win a point against him. Um, we're still dictating, and he was up 2-0. Of course, there was a long break, as usually happens. That's perfectly fine. I hate people that talk about like breaks between sets. Yes, it happens. Dude goes to the toilet, has a drink, maybe, changes his clothes. Like, it happens. You cannot play 4-hour matches, without breaks. Like, it's going to happen. Alcaraz took a break, of course, and then, Medvedev was not bad. He was kind of flat-ish. Um, and Alcaraz baited him a lot to go to the net and then passing shot him, which is a great tactic because Medvedev's approach shots weren't that good. I mean, they were decent, but Alcaraz's passing shot is probably the best in the game. And that was it's kind of like off topic, but let's just make a video about semifinals. I kind of get annoyed that Novak doesn't really passing shot that much. He just tries to lob people a lot, which is yes, he's making them run around and maybe he's going to get a cheap mistake, but it's just most of these guys are really good at smashing, and I was like, I actually tweeted something like this, like, dude, you're not playing against yourself. Like, these guys actually are really good at smashing. And there was a classic Joko smash moment I think it was the late third set when he was up, yeah, when he was serving for the match, and Shelton had a break point and Novak missed the smash. But let's go back to the match. The Alcaraz Medvedev semifinal. So Alcaraz baited him a couple of times to go to the net, and then of course he passing shot them. And Alcaraz won the set 6-3, but I was really surprised because I thought that he's going to win it 6-1. Medvedev was kind of flat, and I thought maybe Daniil should give up the set, but I was really kind of it was kind of weird to see that Medvedev kept on fighting, even it was I think it was 5-3 40 nothing, and even then he kept fighting, which is what's happening with my phone. Okay, nobody's blowing me up. I'm afraid that I'm maybe like too loud here because it's 5 a.m. Everybody's sleeping, so I maybe should turn down my volume when it comes to my voice. Anyways, I was really happy that Daniil started fighting, and then in the fourth it was kind of like it was almost like a reminiscing kind of Novak Alcaraz fifth set. You kind of felt that the guy who's going to get the break is going to win the match. Um, it was, first Alcaraz had some break points, and he did kind of miss. And then, of course, the sixth game when it was 3-2 Medvedev, and Alcaraz he had to have at least 7 or 8 game points, and at least 3 or 4 of them were really cheap errors. And another side note, when it comes to Medvedev's return position, like I think it's really fucking annoying because it's exploitable. Like you can serve volley the fuck out of that serve return position, but it does cover the court, so Alcaraz will not be able to get easy serve. So I don't think that Alcaraz had a single ace in this match. It's not like he's having a lot of aces, but he does have like I don't know 6, 7, 8 aces per match on average. I would think so. I think he had zero aces, and he really didn't have those cheap points. He had cheap points when Medvedev missed the return, but Medvedev had the proper racket, the racket on the ball, so it wasn't like he barely touched the ball. So for me, it was kind of annoying to watch, but I guess when you add everything up, when you add up the fact that you do basically return 95% of the serves or have an opportunity to return 95% of the serves. It does kind of help, although Alcaraz had ridiculous stats when it comes to serve volume, like probably 80%. What's this noise? I have no idea. Okay. But let me just finish this video, man. I swear to God, I maybe woke up some people here, so just gotta keep it quiet. It's 5 a.m. here. So that was kind of annoying for Mark. And then um God damn the last game. I think that the crowd sucks, of course. But I think Alcaraz just played a trash game. Oh my God, he had so many breakpoints, and Medvedev had two double faults. He couldn't hit a first serve. He was solid from the baseline, but it's just Alcaraz, man, missed so much. And then there was this one break point when I think that Medvedev mishit one of his shots and he just clipped the line. The announcer said, I was listening to the Australian feed because I tolerate them more than the American feed. I think that Medvedev's ball was in by zero point 0.2 centimeters. That's ridiculous. I mean, the match is most likely still on if that goes out. Zero point 0.2 centimeters, 2 millimeters with a mishit. And, uh, I guess tennis works that way. 2 millimeters here, 2 millimeters there of a mishit. Today it went Medvedev's way, and then Alcaraz still had chances, but he just I'm not going to say he ran it. And I was actually thinking about this because Medvedev was kind of breathing heavy at some point of the match, and I kind of reminded myself that he complained about cramping in the 2021 U.S. Open final, which is Novak. And I remember him playing ridiculously well in that match. His output was absolutely ridiculous. And, Alcaraz made him play a lot of, made him run a lot. He played a lot of drop shot. Medvedev was running back and forth a lot. And I thought, man, Medvedev, if it's a 4-hour match, I do not really trust him over Alcaraz, although Alcaraz also had some difficulties. But, I thought that maybe this guy is going to run out of gas because he was running so much. Really, Alcaraz made him run a lot. And I thought that maybe at some points Medvedev wasted a lot of energy on nothing. Like, maybe he's down 40 to 15 in a game and he, keeps playing that game, ends up losing that game. But, it's just, I mean, I guess you can look at both ways. I guess you're sending a message that you're physically still there, but then you're also wasting a lot of energy. So I, of course, do not know how he feels, but I was afraid of that he's going to run out of the gas. I was afraid until the last point that he's going to choke, and but he didn't. He didn't, and yeah, he's in the finals, and he's going to play Novak Djokovic. Um, you know, I, I really don't have anything to say about that Novak Shelton match. Uh, I kind of thought that it was going to be like it was, and I'm just really annoyed that Novak just keeps running into these difficulties when it comes to closing out matches. Like he just refuses. I mean, oh my God, what was the last match in which he was serving? What, not last match, last like competitive match. Taylor Fritz wasn't really competitive, but even that match. Ben Shelton, Laszlo Djere, uh, Alcaraz, Zverev. Yeah, that's it. 5 matches in a row. He's losing his serve when he's either losing his serve, or either has to face break points when he's trying to serve out the match. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like he didn't used to get this tight when it really mattered, but he always fights through. He fought through today, and the phone celebration, I thought it was funny. I kind of just like, I don't know what to think about it. I kind of saw Shelton moving during Novak's serve motion, like maybe making squeaky noises. Maybe that irritated him. Shelton is kind of a guy who brings that, NBA, NFL, boxing, American type of personality, in your face, trash talking personality. And a lot of tennis fans are against that. I'm not personally. I like some trash talk. And I don't think that he was like really disrespectful. He knew that the crowd was going to be on his side. And Novak also knew that. And maybe Novak was just playing the bad guy. Maybe he knew that, it's going to frustrate a lot of people that he did the phone celebration. And they are going to be like, oh, you're bullying this, this 20-year-old kid, world number 47, playing the first semifinal. And why are you like this, blah, blah, blah. I think maybe he's just playing the bad guy. I don't know. Maybe he got frustrated with something that Shelton did. But I really don't believe that in heart of his heart, Novak actually thought, even when Shelton was hitting all those ridiculous shots, that Shelton is any sort of a threat. Even if he loses the third set, Novak would probably win the fourth set like 6-2 or something like that. So I don't think he thought that Shelton was this really dangerous guy, and therefore that was kind of this celebration. Like I was like really nervous here, and just let me do this celebration. But he said something like after the match, some sarcastic comment in the press conference, like I did a celebration because I really liked it, and I stole it from Ben and I copied it, and that's it. So yeah, he kind of laughed. So that was like a really bad guy type of move. And on that topic, I know that I'm completely getting off topic. I just cannot stand these stupid ass Vidal fans who keep talking about, well, uh, why is he surprised that nobody likes him, that he's not beloved as Nadal, Nadal and Federer? Look at his personality. He's beefing with the 20. Like, dude, like, I do not know when, where, or how did this idea start that no one wants to be loved. I was actually talking about this like random ass, you know, person a couple of weeks ago, and he's from Hungary. And he told me like, I really like Djokovic because he knows that he's from Serbia. He knows that the West won't like him. He knows that no matter what does he do, he will not be liked. So he's just absolutely himself. Like he didn't take the vaccine because he's himself. He didn't want to take the vaccine. If he wanted to be liked or he wanted to be accepted by the West, he would take the vaccine and a bunch of other things. If he would want to be liked or some shit, he would act completely different. So and he said that he respects that about Novak because he just he knows that he's from Serbia. He knows that he's not going to be liked. and he just plays the bad guy sometimes, and stays true to himself. So, you know, I thought about it, and I certainly agree. So that may be the case today. Okay, let me just wrap this up. I kind of got off topic. It's a 15-minute video. It's 5:18 a.m. here. See you on Sunday. It will be nasty. I mean, I do not know who's going to win that match. I think I am really, because Alcaraz was like a 4-1 favorite versus Medvedev, which is it's acceptable based on their past two matches, and I would make him a 3-1 favorite, and Medvedev was like a 10-1 favor, like 10-1 underdog when it comes to winning the whole tournament. So that would mean that I guess he would be like a 3-1 underdog to Novak or 2.5-1 to Novak. We'll see. I mean, after this performance, maybe it's a bit closer. I don't know. Maybe he's at like 45%. Okay. So see you guys on Sunday.